He takes that and goes, this is a crime against humanity. It's like, dude, no, it's not that brilliant. It's not this like battle between good and evil in the way that you're trying to present it. You're just simply an insane person. We haven't watched a lot of Joseph Rogan. We haven't watched a lot of Jordan Peterson, and for good reason. But Joseph Robinette Rogan, he's been falling off a little bit. Now, I just want to warn you guys ahead of time. Jordan Peterson went on this broadcast with one intention, and that is he wanted to trigger the libs, okay? He said it, so just remember that. Remember when you watch this, when you get like upset about the things he's saying or whatever, but like it's literally the purpose, the main purpose of this.
So we decided to have this conversation because of what's going on with you in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
And that your clinical psychology license is in jeopardy because you have opinions about politics that they disagree with, which is a very dangerous and bizarre turn of events.
Well, it's your fault, actually. You know, I told you, I think, a week or so ago.
What the fuck? He's wearing the ugly ass suit, bro.
We talked about this. Okay, so let me give you some background here. So
I want to know how it's my fault.
I will. I'll tell you. A lot of things are your fault, as it turns out.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So the College of Psychologists has basically levied what are equivalent to about 13 lawsuits against me simultaneously. Now, the reason
Bro, these dudes love LARPing as villains. They're so funny. Bro, no one is afraid of you, dog. You are an effete lib, okay? Like, you might be transphobic and you're like dunking on the most marginalized individuals in society ultimately, but like nobody thinks you are no one thinks that you are a dangerous individual or scary.
Call them lawsuits is because they're actions undertaken on behalf of a complainant. Now, the complainant can be anyone anywhere in the world who complains about me for any reason. They don't have to be former clients. They don't even have to be anybody I've ever met. They don't even have to have met anybody I've ever met. So, you know.
So it could be someone online.
Well, it is. All this is pretty much, all these complaints are someone online. None of them are my clients, although half of them claim to be falsely. And the college didn't throw out their complaints despite that, so which is really quite interesting.
And what are the complaints?
Well, okay, let's see. One complaint is about the tweet I made about Eleanor Elliott Page, and when I said that a criminal physician cut off her breasts and that pride was the sin, so now I'm in trouble again because I just said the same thing. One was about Sports Illustrated cover, where they featured that overweight model, and I tweeted out not beautiful, and I guess that was something like fat shaming. I don't remember exactly what the charge was. And then I criticized Justin Trudeau and a former staff member of Justin Trudeau and Jacinda Ardern. I made a joke about her I was going to New Zealand, and the New Zealand leftist press was freaking out, and I made this joke about bringing my alt-right trolls to New Zealand, and then I put in parentheses, or maybe they're just, you know, ordinary people who are trying to clean up their rooms. So apparently that was casting the profession into disgrace. And then they submitted, one complainant from the U.S. submitted the entire transcript of our last discussion. So, you know, I don't know how to defend myself against that because apparently everything I say.
I think one of the funniest parts about defending Jordan Peterson is that he's objectively a weak man with a shitty sense of taste who is such a bozo that he got addicted to benzos at the age of like 70. And not only that, almost died because his daughter is the real dragon of chaos. But he's such a crybaby pussy, dude. He is such a endless victim and such a crybaby pussy.
I want to ask you just quickly, the film director Olivia Wilde has a new movie out, which she says is based on you, this insane man, this pseudo-intellectual hero to the incel community. Incel being these weirdo loner men who are despicable in many ways. Is that you? Are you the intellectual hero to these
32
people?
months got me through my marriage.
Sure, why not? You know,
own it.
People have been after me for a long time because I've been speaking to disaffected young men. You know, what a terrible thing to do that is. Thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
It's making you emotional.
Let me tell you something. That's not a normal way to talk about this sort of thing.
Feeling primal AF, brother.
This man, there's something severely wrong with his brain chemistry.
Constantly. How many people are dying for lack of an encouraging word?
Let's go.
And of course, all these other crybaby pussies on the internet who are somehow even dumber than Jordan Peterson love looking up to him and making him seem like he's this like objectively powerful human being, this deity almost. He's a pussy. If you like him, you probably are a pussy too.
Apparently everything you say
pussy
too is bringing the profession of psychology into disgrace. And, you know, part of the reason I'm pursuing this action with regard to the Ontario College of Psychologists, one is, you know, leave me the hell alone, guys. You've been on my case nonstop for 7 years, not once before that, in 20 years of practice. There's no complaints ever levied against me. It wasn't until I started to become, you know, relatively well known publicly that the college came after me. And 7 years of that gets to be a bit much, especially now that there's 13 lawsuits compiled up, and all of them are for political opinions, and half of them have been put forward on false grounds. But even that's not enough for me to engage in the battle. The reason I'm engaging in the battle is, well, first of all, you want me to do social media retraining so I communicate better according to your experts? It's like, experts by what criteria exactly? What's a social media communication expert? You got any documentation that even exists?
This was a battle between good and evil. Like, this motherfucker routinely says the most unhinged shit. The other day, if you remember, he made a sarcastic joke that made it seem like he looks up child pornography all the time. Okay? I think that alone is like enough for an institution to be like, bro, you got to stop tweeting. Like, I know you're a tenured professor and all, but like, holy like, what are you doing? Jordan Peterson is so bombastic. Like, he loves taking up, like, normal things that happen to him that are completely justifiable, like an institution that he's associated with, coming up to him and saying, dog, you gotta stop posting like this. You sound like a insane person. You're making us look bad. He takes that and goes, this is a crime against humanity. Even the Nazis would allow me to post if given the opportunity. This is worse than Solzhenitsyn's depiction of the Gulag Archipelago. These Stalinists must stop with their warfare against good posts. It's like, dude, no, it's not that brilliant. It's not this like battle between good and evil in the way that you're trying to present it. You're just simply an insane person who's posting like a petulant little baby, okay? You're often wrong, and you make the institution that you are aligned with look bad. It's pretty normal. There is no battle between good and evil. Maybe good and bad posting, and you're posting bad. That's it.
Oh, that if you have that social media expert train me, that I'm going to be a better therapist. There's no body of data that suggests that in the least. So I'm not going down that route.
We should explain that, because
so
that
I've
is
already
one of
been
the things.
sentenced, right?
Yeah.
So this isn't a threat by the college. This is what the situation already is. I haven't been hauled in front of their disciplinary board yet, but they've already convicted me of disgracing the profession and sentenced me to an indefinite period of re-education. And that's the second most serious punishment that they can levy against the profession. The first is to take away the license. The second is to undergo this retraining and to publicly announce the necessity for that, which they've already done in my case. And so now I have to sit down with these experts at my expense for an indefinite period of time until I'm trained properly, whatever the hell that means. And that isn't pending an investigation. That's already in place.
It's such a wild request, too. Retraining, just even the way they phrase it, it's so bizarre, so Orwellian.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Well, like I said, it's your fault, you know.
Like, Joe Rogan's appeal is that he's a dumb caveman, okay? That's it. Orwellian is the starting point and finishing point of Joe Rogan's lexicon. That is like, you know, that's his SAT word. Oh, so Orwellian, dude. That's it. That's why he has mass appeal. Jordan Peterson, his mass appeal is that he like is someone that Joe Rogan likes because he makes Joe Rogan feel smart. He intellectualizes the Rogan way of thinking and way of living.
Because it's the whole transcript of our last conversation. I don't imagine they'll be that happy with this one.
Yeah, Joe Rogan's appeal is that the general population can relate to him. Average intelligence looks and kind of funny, but not really that funny. He also routinely admits that he's a dumb ape, but the more he becomes an out-of-touch, like, multimillionaire, the more his audience despises him for it. Because, like, there are every single time Joe Rogan gets, like, quote-unquote canceled for saying some dumb shit, people yell at him for some dumb shit. It's almost always about him, like, being an out-of-touch multimillionaire.
You know, when you see stuff like that on the streets, that's protected property, like by law. You know that?
Oh, the homeless person's property is
Yes.
protected?
Yes.
What the why? What do you mean? Like, dude, this is awesome. He's just straight up admitting that he doesn't see homeless people as human beings. You don't say
Make
stuff
my
like this
walk every
unless
day a
you
little
straight
easier.
up don't believe homeless people are human beings. Like, that's it. He's saying, like, what? They own stuff? They can have rights. Like he literally, that's it. That's straight up what this is.
Absolutely.
Huh.
If you were to go and try to move that or take that,
You'd get arrested.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But they wouldn't arrest.
Why is that hilarious? Of course. Isn't Joe Rogan like a libertarian? I don't understand. What?
Arrest you if you shot somebody. Maybe you should just go and shoot the homeless people.
I like your ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if nobody claims it, I mean, nobody does anything about violent crime in LA anymore. It's a joke.
Yeah.
They're just letting people out.
What? Does Joe Rogan not know that there was literally a mass murderer of homeless people in the DC, New York area? Joe Rogan thinks that the way to deal with the homelessness problem is by shooting homeless people? What the Because, like, he's become this, like, unhinged weirdo that is so isolated from the average citizen, the average normie, in his, like, current, Austin iteration of the podcast, where he basically is just like, I am the God King. Don't disagree with me. I don't like that. Doesn't matter if I'm, like, stupid.
All these bloody lawsuits trying to figure out what the hell they were up to instead of, taking a bit of a break and having some time with my family. And so I was very upset about that.
If I was Jordan Peterson, I'd be so upset because, like, a bald, which he got hair plugs, a bald sex trafficking man-child immediately captivated a larger audience that he desperately tried to cultivate for years and years and years because he dropped all the pretense. Like, he literally was just like, I hate reading. Reading is gay. I don't think you should actually compile information throughout century. Everything we do should be experienced. And, like, literally millions of adoring little children were like, that's my daddy. Jordan Peterson for years was like, I'm the intellectual. You should read. You should read every fascist text you can that says socialism is bad and wrong. And then this guy comes in and he just destroys his entire shtick. If you want to put yourself up there as like a beacon of masculinity, okay, you got to at least look the part, because a lot of people that respond to that are like cavemen with cave brains, okay, with caveman brains. And anyone with a caveman brain is going to look at you and go, dude, I would give you a wedgie, move on, okay? I don't understand. You're crying and you're describing the Bible and Adam and Eve. I don't care. I don't understand what's going on. Shut the up, you loser. Whereas Andrew Tate offers those cavemen with cavemen brains something better. Flashy objects, Bugattis, bitches, right?
I genuinely believe my legacy is a good legacy. And I believe that eventually, when the legacy media catches up, they're going to understand I'm a good, positive influence. I'm not interested in damaging the world for money. Because if I was interested in damaging the world for money, I could have sold drugs. Or I could make rap music.
He also did make shitty rap. What is happening? He did rap. He did make rap music. And it was really bad.
Your girl, tell me she's your girl.
That's my favorite part. This line, like that part.
But your girl
is your girl.
Tell me she's your friend. Put her in the car. I got money I can spend. Give it a whirl. I'll have 2 sugar babies. I got everything you need. I can handle 2.
I got 2 sugar babies. I can handle everything. At a certain point, I mean, this is a self-report. Like, he is basically talking about his webcam business, which he can't shut the up about.
And
it's your girl.
He's also kind of self-reporting that the only attention he's getting from women is paid attention.
Yeah,
it's like he has 2 sugar babies. Like, one isn't enough. You don't have any women.
That's
in your
is that alpha?
That,
like, I thought alpha guys would like always talk about how like you shouldn't, bitches. Like, you shouldn't pay for them. They're bitches. But meanwhile, he's like, please let me pay for your time. Like, no one will be around me.